Hey, what's up? I'm Joel Wright, and in this video, I'm the artist painting the iris flower oil painting. This is a time lapse, and it's just a quick tour through my painting process. Today I'm painting on Arches oil paper, and the first thing I do is oil out the oil paper, and then I do the line drawing, and then I start painting in the flower with no underpainting. In fact, the painting I'm doing initially, I consider the underpainting because 9 times out of 10 the values and the colors are going to need adjusting down the road. So for the underpainting, I just start with the colors that are closest, that I think are closest to what the iris actually is. And as I continue painting later in the video, you'll see that I add in darker values of the same color, and then some places I vary the color. For this, it's more of a blue violet, but some places it's a little bit more violet, some places a little bit more blue. There's even some areas where it's almost a teal or turquoise color in the same flower. In the beginning, it's more like drawing for me, so I'm holding the paintbrush at a place where it's closer to like if I was holding a pencil. Later, I hold the brush further out because I want that more painterly brushstroke in the artwork. So as I do the painting of the flower, the initial underpainting of the flower, I start just getting as much as possible of that blocked in. And as far as underpaintings go, it's personal preference, but you can have an underpainting that's completely sketchy and messy and just, lets you know where everything goes and what color it's going to be, and maybe a little bit darker than the final outcome's going to be. So maybe it's a mid-tone, and then you can come back in and add your darks and your lights. But in this case, I'm attempting to paint it directly and then make corrections. So I'm making an underpainting that's further along than some underpaintings for some processes. This is just another way to do it. It's just what I chose to do to be more efficient in this painting and get to the result I'm looking for as quick as possible. Now, after I finish that part of the flower, I then tone the background around the flower, and I'm using a burnt umber. I'm using a burnt umber, and a little bit of ultramarine blue is added to that burnt umber just to tone it down a little bit and to neutralize it. It's a bit orange, so by adding a little bit of blue, I'm taking it more to a neutral, but it's still warm, very warm, brown. And once I get that completely filled in and blocked in, then I can start painting in the grass and the leaves that is the background matrix for which that iris is growing out of. And I like that unkempt look of this painting. This particular painting is a commission, and the client wanted to do this for their daughter's bedroom. The daughter's bedroom is going to be a excuse me. The daughter's bedroom is going to be a lilac, and so the butterfly will have that same color to tie into the room, and so it integrates well within the space. Now, you'll notice in this video I have not painted the butterfly. I'm going to paint that down the road, and maybe I'll provide an update for that later on when I get that completed. I have another painting to do for the same client, so I'll probably be posting a video on that as well. I'm trying to post more videos, and because of that, I've had to let go of my perfectionism, because in my head, if it's not perfectly produced, don't put it out there into the world. But I've really been getting some feedback from different videos I've been watching about, beginner creators, which I've made videos for years, but just not like at a professional level. But the only way to get to that point would be to do the thing you're trying to do and get a little better at it every time. And so, that's finally sunk in. So I'm trying to produce some more videos out there. This is one of them, and that's just where I'm at. Now, I've been painting for years, so that's something that I'm very confident in and have a lot of experience to share with you, and I'm looking forward to that. But you'll have to bear with me on the quality of my videos, but I'm going to post them as frequently as possible. But they have to be kind of quick and dirty, and I'll improve them as I go. And hopefully you can go on that journey with me a little bit while I put out something consistently and improve it as time goes on. I'm excited to do that. And I also want to tell you during this video that I've created a free community. Well, it's got different tiers, but it's a like course-based community where we can meet, with video conferencing, and we can do, I can do mentoring and coaching, and you can work on your paintings, with a group of people. And I'm working on building up that group, and because it's new and I want to get it going, there is a free level, and the free level is, you're welcome to join that. And I'll provide a link below this video in the notes that you can go to and sign up. And there will be like extended, premium content that you can pay for, but you don't have to at all. You can just join for free. And, I'll break down the painting process. I paint in oil paint, but it technically doesn't matter whether you paint in acrylic or oil. That's just a personal preference. But, I've found that with oil paint, you have a greater range of what you're capable of doing. But there is the disadvantage of the drying time, and some people aren't comfortable working wet and wet, and with acrylic you can let layers dry before you go in and do a new layer. So it's completely understandable, but painting techniques are the same no matter what medium you're using generally. There are extenders you can get for acrylic paint to make blending easier, but oil painting is unparalleled with blending. But because of that, a lot of students overblend and ruin their values and colors, and it becomes a muddy mess. And that's part of the frustration with oil paint. But as you can see in this, like, I'm just flowing with the attributes of oil paint, and this is a one-shot painting that I just painted, this morning with my morning coffee. Had a great time doing it. I love doing flowers, landscapes, nature, wildlife. I do portraits. I do a lot of realism. I've done abstraction in the past, and I occasionally have to do one of those as well, but I'm mainly focused on semi-realistic painting. It's realistic colors, but expressive brushstrokes. And sometimes, I do compressed value ranges. So, if the client wants something a little lighter, airier, not as heavy, I can do that. So, there's a range of flexibility within realism that makes it a lot of fun and very expressive. And that's what I teach. I teach, traditional art techniques, like the old masters learned to draw by copying other pieces. I think that's a good thing to do, but really the best way to teach techniques is not like, say, step-by-steps, like you paint exactly what I paint, but it's for you to work on your own projects and to have guidance while you're working on your project. I think that does the most to help someone learn, because you can borrow my experience and my expertise, and if you hit a roadblock, you can overcome it. And you have a safety net. So if you're learning on your own, you'll still get there. Way better than someone that's doing step-by-steps. But it'll just take you longer. So what having a support system does is it's a shortcut. And you don't have to invest as much time, and you can borrow the experience of someone that's been doing it for a long time. And beginners oftentimes are intimidated to try, they usually want to start with drawing. However, I do know painters that just bypass drawing altogether. So because of this dynamic where, people attracted to drawing are afraid to start painting, and the people that just want to paint so bad that bypass drawing, I teach both drawing and painting because I think drawing is the foundation for seeing composition, shape, form, learning how to get it down. Like, even if you use a projector or a Meta Head Quest, whatever the hell that's called, even if you use that, if you can't draw, I can tell. I mean, the difference is night and day, but if you can draw, you have so much greater hand-eye coordination. You can just see it better. And learning to draw makes the entire process from start to finish just flow better. You also get a greater sense of confidence because, like, if you lose your line drawing, as I did when I had line drawings for the grass, where it goes. When I toned the background in brown, I lost all of that. But, that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, like, I'm just gonna go paint it in. That's the drawing for me, is just to give me a generalized idea of where things are going. So towards the end stages of this painting, it starts coming together, and I'm leaving it loose. I'm leaving the background loose. As you can see in the inspiration photo that the client took, the flower is in focus, but the background has a little bit of blurriness. I think that's called bokeh or bokeh, whatever. It's a type of photography where the background blurs a little bit. And so, I could make that look photorealistic, but I thought it would be cooler to kind of do it more sketchier, quickly painted, and to preserve the aspects of this as being a painting and not a photograph. And that's what's beautiful about painting, is that it has its own characteristics that a photograph can never have. But I love photography, but it's just that painting is its own unique thing. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video today, and tell me how bad the quality was for you. Like, tell me the areas I need to improve on, and I'll work on it. Also, if you're trying to learn something specific, I would love to hear about that in the comments. Let me know what you're trying to learn or overcome in your artwork, and maybe I'll address that in one of my videos that I'm busting out here lately. See you next time.